Silent movie star Marie Prevost has suffered a tragic death and a gruesome end in Hollywood, California. When still a child, Mary Bickford Dunn, born in November of 1898 on Water Street here in Sarnia, moved with her parents first to Denver, Colorado, and then later to Los Angeles, California. Now going under the name Marie Prevost, she worked as a stenographer, but prompted by comments about her stunning good looks, knocked on a few doors and was hired at Mack Sennett's Keystone Studios. Seems he was trying to inject some glamour into the movie business with his bathing beauties. At just 18 years of age, Marie now found herself working for one of the most famous companies in Hollywood. But she wasn't destined to remain part of the crowd. Her looks, often described as perky, could not be overlooked. By the time she was 21 years old, she had played a lead in a number of Keystone shorts, and like many of the people who worked for Sennett, was hired by another studio. At Universal Studios, she almost immediately became a huge star of the silent screen, an embodiment of the so-called jazz age in films like 1921's Moonlight Follies and The Married Flapper, released the next year. But her stay at Universal would be short. She soon signed a contract to work for Warner Brothers, starting in 1922. While she would only stay with that studio for 4 years, she would make some of her best movies and would ignite the screen with her overt sexuality. At Warner, Prevost began to make the first of what would be a 10-film liaison with leading man Monty Blue. 3 of her best films would be directed by one of the greatest directors of the era, Germany's Ernst Lubitsch, a master of the Hollywood sex farce. And Prevost was one of the stars of his breakthrough film, The Marriage Circle, in 1924. She played a very flirtatious Mitzi, who attempts to seduce a happily married doctor, played by Monty Blue, who was away from his wife at the time. The hijinks between them are terrific, and the film didn't need sound to have people rolling in the aisles. She stayed busy through the balance of the 20s in a number of films, mostly comedies, continuing to make films until 1933, when her appeal began to dwindle. With the advent of talkies, Marie's thick New England accent didn't lend itself well to the demon microphone, despite her beauty. Marie Prevost died on January 23, 1937, in Hollywood, California, virtually broke and living in a dilapidated apartment. She never saw the release in 1938 of her final appearance on celluloid in 10 Laps to Go. By then she was 38 years old. She died of extreme malnutrition and alcoholism. It is believed she may have starved herself to death. Her body lay there for at least a few days before being discovered, only because her pet dachshund was barking more than usual. Trapped in her master's home without food or water, survival instincts were too strong, and so her pet stayed alive by using the only food available. Instead of being remembered as one of the brightest stars in the early days of Hollywood, Sarnia-born Marie Prevost may be remembered, when she is remembered at all, because of her tragic death and gruesome end.